Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my reviews. I hope you're all doing well, everyone's alright. It is really sunny in the UK at the moment. So today's review is once again a Star Wars review, but I've already reviewed these fine vintage figures as you can see in front of me. So this is a review of some of the unboxed Star Wars that I've got. So these are just going to be for comparison really. So these are just a couple of my vintage Star Wars figures that I've got. As you know, I've got quite a collection. I'll put the video in the description below of the one I've already done for these figures. So these were the vintage ones. So as you can see, this was a vintage Biker Scout figure. All the Star Wars decking of the ships and that came with the pegs, so you could stand them up. They had little stands on them. Because these were hard to stand on their own, guys. They didn't like to stand on their own. These old school sort of vintage figures, they had zero posability, guys. They had no joints, nothing you could bend, move or anything, but they looked very cool. And at the time when I was playing with these as a youth, they were the best thing since sliced bread. Absolutely brilliant. I can't tell you the amount of these I lost in my garden, in my old house. Playing in the garden, trying to replay the famous Battle of Endor in my garden, in the grassy area, where I had like a little wooden hedge, a wooden panel by a hedge that I used to use as my little Endor. I used to make little camps in the trees and put my figures in the trees and stuff like that, and in the bushes. And yeah, the amount I'd be scaling the garden trying to find their little weapons or I'd lost and stuff like that. So yeah, so this is a Biker Scout from the Battle of Endor. The vintage figure, as you can see, his paintwork's a little battered here and there. But yeah, these are very cool, but we're not here to talk about these. And obviously this guy, most dangerous bounty hunter in the galaxy, Mr. Boba Fett. There he is. Discussed him before in the last review. This is a vintage Boba Fett. Quite a common one though. If you ever got hold of a version that had this little button here that fired this little rocket, you are talking big money, guys, big money, because that was the figure they took out of commission because of this swallowable little rocket for little kids. So health and safety got involved as usual, and that disappeared. So it got withdrawn, and then it became a very collectible figure. So if you have that, you might be laughing away at the bank. So yeah, that's those two figures. So I'm going to talk about the figures that I bought. They're still in boxes. This is as you can see, an IG-11, and that is from Mandalorian. So as you know, IG-88 was in Empire Strikes Back on the bridge of the Star Destroyer, with Darth Vader doing his speech, didn't he, about them catching the Millennium Falcon and Han Solo and all that jazz. Yeah, so this is the IG-11 from the Mandalorian. Now, as you can see, guys, if you look at these boxes, these were exactly the same boxes of Kenner that I used to get these figures in as a kid. So they've done well to get these boxes the same, but these are obviously far from vintage. So these are basically new figures. They're retro collection, so they're very cool. It comes with a nice large blaster and a small blaster. Now if you look at that blaster, guys, that is the bulk standard little blaster that came with all of these like stormtroopers of the original figures. So they've done well there to recycle the guns, because as I say, they had no posability. These ones now are set on very much the same. They don't have any posability really either. Maybe a bit more in the arms or something, I don't know. But it's an IG unit bounty hunter anyway. That's a bounty hunter droid, or assassin droid, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, they have the old 360 sort of fighting motion, don't they? Very cool. Why haven't I opened these? Well, I learnt my lessons from these. When I was a kid, playing with these was the best thing ever, but I had no idea of the value of them. I actually had to recollect all these again through eBay and stuff like that, buying them some for cheap, Some I managed to get for real cheap, some I managed to pay quite a bit for, but I managed to get most of them back. But a lot are still unavailable, and not a lot I had are still unavailable. Very cool. So what was I trying to say? I was trying to say that these won't be opened. These are going to be displayed only in the boxes, and one day, hopefully in 20 to 30 years, this one will be worth some money. When the next person grabs a Star Wars movie and starts making one or something like that, or a new series comes out, or something comes out, this will then become sought after. But I didn't learn about this stuff as a kid. So there you go. Back of the box, let's see what it says. Star Wars Retro in collection is inspired by 1970s Star Wars figures and features original feature designs and detailing, continuing your collection from the galaxy far, far away. There you go. So that is the IG-11. It's pretty cool. Stand down IG unit. Quite funny, wasn't he? I liked it when they made that little suit out of him in the end, weren't it? When Grogu was like remote control car, weren't it? No, yes, no. Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, so that is the IG-11. The next is another favourite of mine, which they introduced, I think, in the I believe it came in one of the earlier the later Star Wars movies, wasn't it? It's the Death Trooper. So these are very, very cool. Yeah, these Dark Troopers, they Imperial Death Trooper. They first came in the great film Rogue One, didn't they? And I absolutely love the look of these guys. They are so demon looking, and they're actually like special forces of the stormtroopers, aren't they? Because these guys can actually shoot, can't they? So like they're very rare. Of their bad reputation counterparts of stormtroopers who seem to miss everything, don't they? Yeah. But yeah, he's got a pretty cool cannon there, guys. See the cannon? Yeah, another retro type. Yeah, I like these ones, especially in Rogue One. When you see them come marching out into the battlefield during the final battle, didn't you? Yeah, it's got a similar back to what was on the last one. Yeah, very cool. I just like the armour looks better. Everything looks better on these guys. And they carry those cool little grenades on their back, don't they? So very cool. The Death Trooper. And they make that really cool noise, don't they? I don't know what that noise is they make, but it's very cool. It's like a menacing sort of noise. Here's another cool character that I like. Ahsoka Tano. She is absolutely fantastic, guys. I really liked the Mandalorian TV series. And again, it's really something that really grinds my gears lately. And it seems to be a lot of the channels that are quite big. They seem to put a lot of negativity on stuff before it's even got out there. I liked her playing the character. I thought she was really good. I thought she looks like her. She's a very good actress. She's just cool. She's just a cool character, and I actually really liked that series. I liked that Grand Admiral Thrawn, and I liked his zombie troopers. They look really good. So yeah, she's got the dual wield, and they've got the classic. They've also, in a retro fashion, got those classic like little lightsabers. They're not quite as cheesy. They've upgraded them a little bit from what they used to be, because they used to be like literally so thin. They were like toothpicks. But yeah, there's the lightsabers there. So no detail on the handles or anything, because that is the retro style, wasn't it? The only detail to these old school figures literally was to the clothing, wasn't it? The faces looked kind of a little bit like them, but not, they were very Action Man like, weren't they? And figures around that time, not a great amount of detail. But yeah, so that is Ahsoka Tano. So I really liked Ahsoka. I thought it got a lot of bad press and didn't need it. It's like all of the Star Wars, isn't it? It happens with all of them now, doesn't it? That the TV series ones, they get terrible stick, don't they? And I don't think they deserve it a lot of the time. I mean, I look at it like this, guys. Even if I watch a film or a TV show, that it isn't great. It isn't the best. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, and it didn't knock me off my feet. But I still have to keep in reality that I can't make a film. I don't know what goes into it. I don't know the stresses that goes into it. I don't even look at the financial amount that goes into it, what happens. You know, all I know is that some person has tried to put their imagination, their outlook onto film, and it's not gone great. You know, we all take gambles in life, don't we? And sometimes those gambles don't pay off. But, you know, how many times have we done something like we've envisaged something we've worn, where you go out and you think, you know, you look like John Travolta and everyone's laughing at you, do you know what I mean? You think, no, well, no, I look a right mug here, you know, but yeah, we all do it, don't we? And I think it's the same with films sometimes, films and TV, ain't it? People do things they think people are going to like, even when sometimes their best instincts are telling them not to do it. But, you know, they think, no, let's give it a chance, let's give it a go. And sometimes that takes a bit of guts, doesn't it, to give something a bit of a go. But yeah, I just think that we've reached a point now where we're so quick to sort of attack, aren't we? Attack before it's even got off the ground. So, there you go. So anyway, getting off topic a bit. So that is Ahsoka. Very, very good figure. I liked her character in the Clone Wars, which a cartoon version of her was really good, and I really like the TV version of her. So I think she's done a great job. The actress there. And last but not least, that I have boxed up is the Incinerator Trooper. Now, this dude was very scary, wasn't he? These guys were very scary. And in warfare in general, flamethrower troopers are horrifying, aren't they? Can you imagine being in your position that you're in, where you think you're safe, you've got cover from ranged weaponry, such as guns or whatever, you know, you think, oh, I've got some cover here, and all of a sudden, flames just come sweeping in and wipe out the area you're in. It must be horrific. So yeah, that's what these guys do, the Incinerator Troopers, and you see it in The Mandalorian, don't you, when they're holed up in that cantina, and they're holding off the troops, aren't they? Moff Gideon, and then they send in this Incinerator Trooper, don't they, who starts trying to burn them out. And you see, that's when Grogu does his magic, doesn't he? Basically blows the guy to bits, doesn't he? Like reversing it on him, sort of thing. So yeah, you go. So yeah, he's got a cool incinerator with the flame attached. Can't see it very well there from this angle, I don't think. But yeah, it's at the back there, and they're coloured with the red and white Stormtrooper armour. Yeah, they're quite a menacing mask, the old Stormtroopers, don't they? I like that version of the mask. I didn't like a lot of people like the clone armour. I wasn't a fan of the clone armour. The different clone armours, yeah, I wasn't a fan of those. I do like the original Stormtroopers. My favourite looking Stormtrooper, funny enough, is the one that's in the snow with the orange like thing on the shoulder. In the original Star Wars, in the desert, you see him briefly. He's like the leader. Look, sir, droids. And he's got that little ring, that little metal ring, and he's managed to somehow find in the desert, isn't he? Which is like, I think they're taking the mickey out of Spaceballs, weren't they? Do you remember? Comb the desert, and they've got the big combs, haven't they, in the desert? So, yeah. So that Spaceballs kind of took the mickey out of that scene, didn't it, a little bit? Because they just mystically managed to find this little ring, don't they? And they put two and two together that the droids have headed in that direction. So, yeah. So, with comparison-wise with the figures, with these retro figures, I noticed that there's quite I would say, a bit of a size difference now in these. It's about lined up. Yeah, so they're slightly bigger. The new ones are slightly bigger. I know they don't probably look like on the camera, but from here, from this angle, I kind of see that it's slightly bigger. Yeah, slightly different height. But yeah, these ones here look like they've also got maybe some sort of give in the knee and a bend in the arm, this one, which is very unusual for these kind of figures, guys, because going back in time, I can remember I saw some a video the other day when someone was displaying some really beautiful, like the new Master of the Universe figures, the new ranges sort of thing, the new one. Absolutely fantastic, guys. I mean, they were posable. Back in my day, oh my goodness, it was hard to get them to stand up, especially if you had a carpeted house. Everyone had carpet in their house, didn't they? When back in the day when He-Mans were out. And you know, if you had one of these sort of really funky carpets, like the fashionable back in the day, oh, you couldn't get them to stand up at all. You could not get them to stand up at all, He-Mans. They were like, because they literally, the legs were stuck in one position. You couldn't change them, and it was either you could move them into, like, I think it was like kickable positions and stuff like that, but you couldn't stand them up. So yeah, it was the same with the arms. The arms were just up and down. That was it, and they were just like in a bicep pose sort of shape. So yeah, you couldn't do much with them at all. But yeah, they was, again, great figures. And but figures have come a long way now, posability and stuff like that. And I've seen some of you guys put the figures in such great, honestly, some of the poses. I mean, that there's a guy called Silent Collector and Cowed Collector and Trash Picture Show, and on some of these other channels, honestly, they do such great poses with the figures. I do not know how they do it, how they get them in these positions, and I've tried them. Good, you know, well done to them. I've given hope with all that stuff. But yeah, some cool stuff out there. Yeah, some cool channels. So yeah, so these are my that's my collection of unopened Star Wars. Let me know what you think of them, guys. Let me know what you think of the vintage figures. Did you have any vintage figures of any sort, not just Star Wars? It's good to try about any of them. There was Thundercats, weren't there? G.I. Joe. There was Centurions. So many figures. Thundercats, He-Man. You could just keep going, couldn't you, with the figures back then? So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help with the algorithm stuff and all that bits and bobs, because that is a bit touchy on here, isn't it? But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.